The Comrades Marathon is an ultramarathon of approximately 89 kilometers which is run annually in the KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa between the cities of Durban and Pietermaritzburg. It is the world's largest and oldest ultramarathon race. The direction of the race alternates each year between the up run starting from Durban and the down run starting from Pietermaritzburg. The field is capped at 23,000 runners, and entrants hail from more than 60 countries. In all but 3 runnings since 1988, over 10,000 runners have reached the finish within the allowed 11 or 12 hours. With increased participation since the 1980s, the average finish times for both genders, and the average age of finishes have increased substantially. Runners over the age of 20 qualify when they are able to complete an officially recognized marathon in under 5 hours. During the event, an athlete must also reach 5 cut-off points in specified times to complete the race. The spirit of the Comrades Marathon is said to be embodied by attributes of camaraderie, selflessness, dedication, perseverance, and Ubuntu. Course: the race is run on the roads of KwaZulu-Natal province, marked by the Big Five set of hills. On the up run they appear in the following order: Cowies Hill, Fields Hill, Bothas Hill, Inchanga, and Polly Shorts. Rules: athletes currently have 12 hours to complete the course, extended from 11 hours in 2003. There are a number of cut-off points along the routes which runners must reach by a prescribed time or be forced to retire from the race. A runner who has successfully completed 9 marathons wears a yellow number, while those who have completed 10 races wear a green number, permanently allocated to the runner for all future races. Medals are awarded to all runners completing the course in under 12 hours. Medals are currently awarded as follows: gold medals, the first 10 men and women. Wally Hayward medals, 11th position to sub 6 hours 0 minute, silver medals, 6 hours 0 minute 01 sec to sub 7 hours 30 minutes, Bill Rowan medals, 7 hours 30 minutes to sub 9 hours 0 minute. Bronze medals, 9 hours 0 minute to sub 11 hours 0 minute. Vic Clapham medals, 11 hours 0 minute to sub 12 hours 0 minute. Prior to 2000, only gold, silver and bronze medals were awarded. The Bill Rowan medal was introduced in 2000 and named after the winner of the first Comrades Marathon in 1921. The time limit for this medal was inspired by Rowan's winning time in 1921 of 8 hours 59 minutes. A new copper medal, the Vic Clapham medal, was added in 2003. This medal coincided with the increase in the time allocation for completing the event from sub 11 hours to sub 12 hours. The Wally Hayward medal, named after 5-time winner Wally Hayward, was added in 2007 for runners finishing in under 6 hours. History: the Comrades was run for the first time on May 24, 1921, and with the exception of a break during World War II, has been run every year since. The 2010 event was the 85th race. To date, over 300,000 runners have completed the race. The race was the idea of World War I veteran Vic Clapham, to commemorate the South African soldiers killed during the war. Clapham, who had endured a 2,700-kilometer route march through sweltering German East Africa, wanted the memorial to be a unique test of the physical endurance of the entrants. The constitution of the race states that one of its primary aims is to celebrate mankind's spirit over adversity. From 1962 to 1994 the race was run on Republic Day, May 31. After this public holiday was scrapped in 1995 by the post-apartheid South African government, the race date was changed to Youth Day on June 16. In 2007, the race organizers bowed to political pressure from the ANC Youth League, who felt that the race diverted attention from the significance of Youth Day, and changed the race date to Sunday 17 June for 2007 and 15 June for 2008. In 2009 and 2010 the date was changed to accommodate football's Confederations Cup and World Cup in South Africa. 1920s 48 runners entered the first race in 1921, but only 34 elected to start. The course at the time was tarred only for the final few kilometers into Durban. A time limit of 12 hours was set and Bill Rowan became the inaugural winner, clocking 08:59 to win by 41 minutes ahead of Harry Phillips, Of the 34 starters, only 16 completed the race. Arthur Newton entered and won the race for the first time in 1922. He went on to win the race 5 times and emerge as the dominant Comrades runner of the 1920s. When he completed the down run in 06:56 in 1923, there were only a handful of spectators on hand to witness the finish because so few thought it possible that the race could be run so quickly. The first woman to run the race was Frances Hayward in 1923, but her entry was refused, so she was an unofficial entrant. She completed the event in 11:35 and although she was not awarded a Comrades medal, the other runners and spectators presented her with a silver tea service and a rose bowl. In 1924 the Comrades had its fewest starters ever, just 24. 4 years later, in 1928, the time limit for the race was reduced by an hour to 11 hours. 1930s In the 1930s, Hardy Ballington emerged as the dominant runner, recording 4 victories in 1933, 1934, 1936 and 1938. The winner of the 1930 race, Wally Hayward, became one of the greatest legends of the Comrades Marathon, winning a further 4 times in the 50s, and becoming the oldest man to complete the race in 1989. In 1932 Geraldine Watson, an unofficial entrant, became the first woman to complete both the up run and the down run. 1940s After Ballington's domination of the 1930s, Comrades was stopped during the war years from 1941 to 1945. In 1948 a Comrades tradition was born when race official Max Trimborn, instead of firing the customary starter's gun, gave a loud imitation of a cock's crow. That tradition continues to the present day with Trimborn's recorded voice played over loudspeakers at the starting line. 1950s In the 1950s, a full 20 years after he won the race for the first time, Wally Hayward recorded his second victory and followed that up with wins in 1951, 1953 and 1954. He represented South Africa at the 1952 Olympic Games in Helsinki, where he finished 10th in the marathon. Hayward retired from the Comrades after establishing new records for both the up and down runs and equaling the 5 wins of Newton and Ballington. In 1958, the race was won for the first time by Jackie Mekela, who went on to win the race 5 times, finishing second twice and third twice. 1960s In the 1960s, Comrades grew considerably, from 104 starters in 1960 to 703 starters in 1969. Due to the bigger fields, cut-off points were introduced at Drummond and Cato Ridge. Mekela became the first man to break the 6-hour barrier in 1960, finishing in 5:56 and 32 seconds. The 1961 winner was George Claassen, a school principal and father of well-known Annan Claassen, Springbok rugby captain during 1981-83. Claassen Jr. also finished the Comrades 10 times in later years. In 1962, the race attracted foreign entries for the first time as the Road Runners Club of England sent over 4 of the best long-distance runners in Britain. English runner John Smith won the race, an up run, in under 6 hours, missing out on the course record by 33 seconds. Watching the stragglers come in hours later, Smith commented to former winner Bill Cochran that the other people completing the race were getting as much applause as he had received. "You are now witnessing the spirit of the Comrades," replied Cochran. In 1965, English runner Bernard Gumsel broke Mekela's down run record with a time of 5:51 and 9 seconds. In 1967, Minnie Kuhn and Tommy Malone were involved in the closest finish in the history of the race. Malone appeared to be on his way to a comfortable win and was handed the traditional message from the mayor of Pietermaritzburg to the mayor of Durban at tollgate with a lead of 2 minutes over Kuhn. He entered the stadium in the lead with only 80 meters left to go. Suddenly Kuhn appeared only 15 meters behind and closed in quickly. Malone put in a burst for the line, but with only 15 meters left he fell to the ground with cramps. He attempted to get up again, but with the line within reach Kuhn flew past to grab victory. The mayoral message was forgotten as both runners embraced. 1970s The Comrades had over 1,000 starters for the first time in 1971, with over 3,000 in 1979. The race was widely broadcast on both radio and television. The race was open to all athletes for the first time in 1975, allowing blacks and women to take part officially. In 1975, the Golden Jubilee of the Comrades, Vincent Rakebel finished 20th to become the first black runner to officially win a medal. Elizabeth Cavanaugh became the first women's winner in a shade over 10 hours. 1976 saw the emergence of Alan Robb, who won the first of his 4 Comrades titles. Robb repeated his win in 1977, 1978 and 1980, including breaking the tape in Durban in 1978 in a record 5:29 and 14 seconds, almost 20 minutes and 4 kilometers ahead of runner-up Dave Wright. 1980s. During the 1980s the Comrades began with a field of 4,207 in 1980 and topped 5,000 for the first time in 1983. In 1981, University of the Witwatersrand student Bruce Fordyce won the first of his eventual 9 Comrades titles. An outspoken critic of apartheid, Fordyce and a number of other athletes initially decided to boycott the 1981 event when organizers announced that they would associate it with the 20th anniversary of the Republic of South Africa. Fordyce ultimately competed wearing a black armband to signal his protest. He repeated his victories in 1982, 1983, 1984, 1985, 1986, 1987, 1988, and 1990. In 1989, Sam Tshabalala became the first black winner of the Comrades. Schoolteacher Frith van der Merwe won the women's race in 1988 in a time of 6:32 and 56 seconds. In 1989, van der Merwe ran 5:54 and 43 seconds, obliterating the women's record and finishing 15th overall. In the same year Wally Hayward entered the race at the age of 79 and finished in 9:44 and 15 seconds. He repeated the feat in the 1989 Comrades, where he completed the race with only 2 minutes to spare and at the age of 80 became the oldest man to complete the Comrades. 1990s. During the 1990s the size of the starting fields was in the region of 12,000 to 14,000 runners. In 1995 prize money was introduced, attracting more foreign competitors. The traditional race day of May 31st, formerly Republic Day, was changed to June 16, the anniversary of the Soweto uprising. In 1992 Charles Matthias crossed the finish line first, but was later disqualified after testing positive for a banned substance. He claimed it was contained in medicine he had taken for a sore throat, but Jetman Msutu was elevated to the winner, thus becoming the second black winner of the Comrades. In a sad twist for Matthias, the substance for which he was banned was later removed from the IAAF's banned substance list since all evidence pointed to it having no performance-enhancing properties. Matthias also suffered much negativity in the public eye but later managed to redeem his clean image with an emphatic faultless win in the 1997 down run beating a strong local and international field. 2000s. The 75th anniversary of the Comrades Marathon in 2000 was the largest ever staged, with a massive field of 23,961. An extra hour was allowed for bronze medal finishes to celebrate the milestone. In 2010, on its 85th anniversary, the race gained a place in the Guinness World Records as the ultramarathon with most runners. 14,343 athletes, the largest field since the turn of the millennium, finished in the allowed 12 hours. Identical twin sisters Ilya and Elena Nergalieva won a combined 10 Comrades titles from 2003 to Euro 2013, while 3-time champion Stephen Mushinji became the first non-South African winner from Africa in 2009. Stephen Mushinji also became the first athlete to win 3 races in a row since Bruce Fordyce won 3 in a row in the 80s. Russian runner Leonid Shevtsov set both down and up course records in 2007 and 2008. Respectively. Health issues. As with every ultramarathon, there are potentially lethal health risks involved in extreme physical events. In the history of the Comrades, there have been 7 deaths up to the 2007 event. In a survey among a sample of 2,005 participants, 25% reported cramps, 18% nausea, 8% vomiting, 13% dizziness, 3% diarrhea, 23% pain, excluding the expected sore legs, and 14% reported fatigue of such a nature that they believed themselves to be incapable of continuing the race. Among silver medalists there was a higher incidence of cramps, nausea and diarrhea, though a lower incidence of pain and fatigue than the average runner. Cheating in the race. In 1993, Herman Mitti, a runner from Belleville Athletics Club, finished in 7th place, amongst the top 10 gold medal winners. He was later stripped of his gold medal, when video evidence and eyewitness testimony indicated that he started the race at Kloof, and completed less than 30 kilometers of the 90 kilometers down run. As his surname resembled that of top runner Charles Matthias, he was often mistaken by the public as being the same person. In a Comrades first, the 11th place finisher, Simon Williamson, was months later officially elevated to 10th place and awarded the last gold medal by the then South African President F.W. de Klerk. Williamson had passed another runner, Ephraim Sekothlo, in the last 100 meters to claim 11th spot and unknowingly, a gold medal. In 1999, the Motsenang brothers from Bethlehem, Free State, who strongly resembled one another, performed an act of cheating during another down run. By exchanging places with his brother at toilet stops and aided by car lifts at various stages, Sergio Motsenang finished 9th. This came as a surprise to Nick Bester and other athletes behind him, who could not recall being overtaken. They were exposed when television footage revealed them to be wearing watches on different arms, and a time pad reading that confirmed that one of the brothers was still trailing Bester at Bothers Hill. The brothers performed well in later years, though Sergio tested positive for a banned substance after finishing 3rd in 2010. Use of banned substances is claimed to be endemic among top Comrades athletes, but only a small number have been disqualified. Runners who have tested positive include Sergio Motsenang, Rasta Molalai, Victor Zdenf, Laffit Sangadoro and Ludwig Mamabolo. Mamabolo was found not guilty due to a technical irregularity Erythropoietin, norandrosterone, methylhexanemine and testosterone have been mentioned in connection with Comrades athletes. In 2014, an analysis of negative splits by runner and statistician Mark Doudswell suggested that a number of runners in the middle to back half of the field may be taking shortcuts. Records. Course records, most wins, most medals, most consecutive medals. Winners and waypoints. Medals and demographics. There is a lot of prestige associated with a Comrades Marathon green number. As a result, many athletes aim to complete at least 10 races, which is evident as a clear peak in the distribution of medal counts. The introduction of the back-to-back medal resulted in another peak for athletes with 2 medals. Charts. References. External links: Comrades Marathon Association, Comrades Tables, detailed profile of the 2009 Comrades route, movie concerning Comrades Marathon, The Comrades Marathon, by Brad Morgan, The Famous Comrades Marathon, by Amby Birdfoot, 1920–1925, A Soldier's Dream,